sectarian violence. Muslims make up a sizable minority in the country, constituting 13% of India's 1.2 billion people. However, in the last 5 years, during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's tenure, crimes against Muslims have increased. And as Neha Poonia reports, counting will start on Thursday. That's the votes.
Sayed Haider believes he's never been more self-conscious of being a Muslim. Since Prime Minister Modi's Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party came to power in 2014, Haider says his family has lived in constant fear.
We live in cramped quarters in a Muslim ghetto, not out of choice but necessity. We hear of Muslim families being attacked by right-wing Hindu groups so often, we'd feel unsafe living in a Hindu-majority neighborhood. If my Hindu neighbor had a change of heart one day and didn't feel friendly towards me anymore, my family and I could become just another casualty.
In the last 5 years, 36 Muslims have been murdered by right-wing Hindu mobs. These people were either accused of eating beef or slaughtering cows, an animal Hindus consider sacred. Many of the murders were by militant Hindu groups that often have ties with or align themselves to Prime Minister Modi's BJP.
Earlier, there used to be instances of sectarian violence, but never to such an extent that an entire community had to live in fear. This has been deliberately encouraged by the government in power.
The ruling BJP has denied these allegations.
And the BJP, yes, we do respect the religious sentiments of the majority of Hindus, as we respect the sentiments of Muslims who don't eat pork. But this can't be turned into an argument, which is a political argument, and anyone, no less than the Honorable Prime Minister said, who behaves like a hooligan or takes the life of somebody or does something which is breaking the law, full action has to happen against him, as it would happen irrespective whether the person was a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Parsi or Jew.
But critics say the government has not done enough. Last year, a BJP minister was seen honouring 8 men convicted for lynching a Muslim cattle trader, and many BJP leaders have often gone out of their way to raise cow protection as a policy issue, which critics argue has emboldened these radical groups.
Since Mr. Modi came to power in 2014, the punishment for cow slaughter in BJP-ruled states has become stricter, in some states even leading to life imprisonment.
When there is a lack of action from the authorities, it leads to impunity, which emboldens the groups or any person in doing it. We see that there is a tacit approval to the extent of not taking action against the perpetrators, or even political leaders coming out and making strong statements against these issues.
It's also given India's main opposition party, the Congress, ammunition to target the ruling BJP. It's promising to crack down on these groups if voted to power.
What does it tell you? That there is a pattern to these killings. They have mostly happened in BJP-ruled states. They have been killed by people who have got a very fundamentalist leaning, very bigoted people. They are mobs.
While the BJP has routinely distanced itself from cow vigilante groups, it's not convinced voters like Sayed Haider. He says in these elections he'll vote for a party that can ensure he doesn't feel persecuted in his own country. Neha Poonia, SABC News, New Delhi.
Coming back to the